That's fine. Just let me know when you're ready. Hello, everyone. If you would please rise for the procession.
Please be seated. Good morning. It is my honor as president of the University of North Georgia to welcome you to the summer 2017 commencement ceremony. On behalf of the entire university community, I extend warm and sincere congratulations to each of these fine scholars and to their families and friends. Our hopes and our dreams are with you today. This is a day of celebration for our graduates and also for the university. As we begin our ceremony, please join me in thanking Dr. Kelly McFadden, Faculty Marshal, and Dr. Joe Chapman for the inspiring processional. I would be remiss if I did not pause to recognize all of the mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, children, grandparents, relatives, and friends who stood behind our students and assisted them throughout their college careers. Thank you. Thank you for supporting our students. And students, today is a wonderful day. Here you are donned in academic regalia, whose design dates back to the Middle Ages and symbolizes your achievement and commitment. The right to wear these robes is an honor that must be earned, and indeed you have earned the right to wear them. We are here to honor you with the richest tradition of the academic community, a commencement ceremony celebrating the completion of your degree and the beginning of your professional lives. UNG holds a special designation within the University System of Georgia as a state leadership institution. As such, UNG has a strong reputation for producing civic, professional, and military leaders, and our graduates are known as individuals committed to high personal integrity, civic engagement, and community service, and of course, academic excellence. I know that the foundation you have received through UNG will be a catalyst to your future success. And I also know that as graduates of UNG, you will add value and meaning to many other lives around you. Dr. John Broman and the UNG Men's Quartet will now lead us in singing the national anthem. Will you please stand if you are able?
Oh, say, can you see by dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, and please be seated. It is my honor as Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs to join President Jacobs in welcoming you to today's ceremony. When I reflect on the experience you have had at UNG and your determination to achieve this goal, I'm reminded of the story of Apollo 13. Most of you are too young to remember it, but perhaps you saw the movie that recounted that mission. Apollo 13 was programmed for 10 days, but suffered a system failure en route. Jim Lovell was commander of the Apollo 13 flight. He and the crew, working closely with ground controllers, conserved the crew's electrical power and water and converted their lunar module into a lifeboat of sorts, allowing them to survive in space and return to Earth. Lovell is credited with saying, "There are people who make things happen. There are people who watch things happen. And there are people who wonder what happened." To be successful, you need to be a person who makes things happen. As a UNG graduate, you have the knowledge and the critical thinking skills to solve challenging problems. You have learned the value of teamwork, perseverance, and leadership. You will make things happen. As the university's chief academic officer, I recognize the important role of our faculty in helping you to identify and develop these skills. I commend our faculty for their commitment to our students' personal and professional development and for their leadership and dedication to their disciplines. Would all the members of the faculty who are here today, including those on the platform, please rise so that we can recognize you. Thank you. Please be seated. Before we continue with the program, please allow me to introduce the remaining members of our platform party. Will you please stand as your name is called? Mr. Mac McConnell, Senior Vice President for Business and Finance. Dr. Billy Wells, Senior Vice President for Leadership and Global Engagement. Mr. Jeffrey Tanowski, Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. Brian Corrigan, Professor of English and the reader for today's ceremony. Dr. Carol Adams, Dean of the University College. Dr. Jeff Turk, Director of the Lewis F. Rogers Institute for Environmental and Spatial Analysis. Dr. Timothy May, Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Letters. Dr. Danny Lau, Associate Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics. Colonel Brent Cummings, Professor of Military Science, and Ms. Andrea Strickland of the UNG Alumni Board of Directors. Please welcome these people. Thank you. Please be seated. It is now my honor to introduce our guest speaker for today's ceremony. Jim Bohannon of Westwood One Radio is a nationally syndicated radio talk show host heard on 500 radio stations across the country. The Jim Bohannon Show brings listeners a unique blend of breaking news spanning politics and pop culture, interesting features and informative reports on a spectrum of topics, special guests, and live callers. In addition to the Jim Bohannon Show, Mr. Bohannon spent more than 31 years as host of the early morning weekday news program, America in the Morning, for which he still provides interviews and his feature, The Offbeat. A 50-year-plus broadcasting veteran, Mr. Bohannon began his career in 1970 in Lebanon, Missouri. After attending Missouri State University, he served in Vietnam, including the Tet Offensive with the 199th Light Infantry Brigade. Following his Army service, he continued his radio career from Washington, D.C. and later Chicago, eventually hosting his own Saturday night phone-in program and serving as the principal backup on The Larry King Show. In 1993, Mr. Bohannon took over the prestigious nighttime talk show slot formerly held by King. Mr. Bohannon is a member of the National Radio Hall of Fame in Chicago and is the winner of numerous other industry accolades, including the First Amendment Award from the Radio Television Digital News Association and the Talkers Magazine Lifetime Achievement Award. Please join me in giving him a warm UNG welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ormond. I thought about just texting this address to each of you or posting it on Facebook or LinkedIn or hooked up, or whatever is the social media of the day. But here you are, resplendent in cap and gown, eager and idealistic, all set to absorb tired old cynicism in the time-honored manner by stifling yawns. And so let me begin by saying, will the driver of the silver gray 2014 Toyota, good, now that I have your undivided attention, start out by noting how extremely good many have become at tricking you into focusing your attention. We in the broadcast media are especially adept at this, and so learn to screen out the extraneous. You're going to encounter a lot of it. Actually, my first real point is to apologize to you. We, members of my generation, are the first generation ever to spend the next generation's, that is, your wealth. And we did it not because we were facing desperate circumstances. We did it because we could, and because we can be extremely selfish. Don't be like us in that respect, even if it means that you not only have to pay for our profligate ways, but that it also means that you'll have to build back a nest egg for the generation after yours. Something else of ours which you should avoid is the attention span of a housefly. We are the only society in history which can stand in front of a microwave oven yelling, "Hurry up, I haven't got all minute." Well, yes, you do. So avoid thinking of life as akin to a TV sitcom, which can be concluded with all loose ends tied in half an hour, including commercials. Real life isn't like that. And much of the rest of the world doesn't think that way. We plan our economy around the next quarterly dividend. Other societies plan for the next quarter of a century. And this gross national attention span is particularly dangerous given that our adversaries, potential and real, think long term. And we do have adversaries. And they don't like the way we hand out rights like they were rights or something. And they correctly identify those rights as deadly to whatever is their particular brand of despotism. And they will get rid of our rights if we give them the chance. And one more thing about our rights, you have quite a few, although not as many as you may think. We often confuse our rights with our privileges and conveniences. For example, you have no right to board an airliner quickly. And with our rights come more than a few responsibilities. Nobody ever seems to talk about those. Don't assume that there will be a big war in our future. Strive to avoid a big war, but know that it remains a very real possibility, and likely will for the rest of your young lives. Now then, having said all of that, let me note that your parents have so far managed to avoid that big war, and they've given you what is, for all its warts, the freest society in history, and the best standard of living, even now, and a mostly peaceful, stable society. In short, your parents, for all their flaws, aren't as dumb as they may seem. Or at least someday you may be as dumb as we are. Perhaps even more disquieting, someday you'll look like us. I'll tell you something else. We baby boomers will not go quietly into the night. There are still almost as many of us as there are of you, and we intend to hang on forever, sucking on our inflated notion of our entitlements, even at your expense, largely because we vote. It's a fact that since 18-year-olds got the vote 46 years ago, the 18 to 21-year-old age group has consistently been the group least likely to cast ballots. Why don't you? I recall the first time I voted with a sense of power akin to the day I got my driver's license or I was old enough to drink. And don't even buy that cynical notion that your vote doesn't count. In a closely divided electorate such as ours, any group which suddenly starts voting can swing elections. So register and vote. And if a candidate strikes your fancy, work for him or her. And remember this, digital generation, everybody can have a slick website. Pretty graphics are no way to judge a candidate or a cause. You must learn critical thinking skills, the ability to sort out the worthwhile from the BS. You need to develop a good BS detector because you're going to need it. A word for you that you need to remember, I think, is the word fair, as in mostly life isn't. Get over it and move on. Oh, sure, you should try to make life more fair, but when it isn't, no whining, please. Real life offers few safe spaces, and only the superior actually get trophies. And this is not only fair, it's essential. How else do we obtain excellence unless we reward it? Which leads to self-esteem. In the real world, you'll be expected to earn it. While you're being graded and rated and judged and nudged, anyone who has ever tried to shield you from this has done you no favors, but only set you up for failure. And speaking of unfair things, consider privacy. We're losing privacy. Some of it is lost, at least we hope, in the noble quest to protect us from terror. You'll have to decide the merits of that on a case-by-case basis, but protect privacy. It's the basis of human dignity. Something else to keep in mind, you should strive to be something good, hopefully, but at least strive to be something. Surveys indicate that far too many young people wish not to be a president or a doctor or a lawyer or a movie star. They don't even want to be rich as much as they want to be famous. For what, in many cases, doesn't seem to matter. Lee Harvey Oswald is famous. Fame isn't enough. If you actually accomplish things, then fame, at least meaningful fame, will take care of itself. Now, at this point, commencement speeches usually wrap up with a panoramic look at the big picture. Frankly, I think that's overrated, and so I would like to conclude with a few looks at the little picture. Some hors d'oeuvres for thought, if you will, which might actually be useful. And so the little picture. Number one, rotate your tires. And keep them balanced with proper air pressure, and check your oil and transmission fluid, and check your smoke detectors, and change your furnace filters. These are little things, but important things, sometimes even life-saving things, and probably things which, till now, many of your parents have handled. Now it's your turn with the mundane details. Before the month of August is out, I expect all of you to have rotated your tires. Little picture number two. That cold, cruel, real world will often demand that you have decent clothing and a haircut. Yes, that's their definition of decent, and yes, that's arbitrary, and yes, that's the way it is. If you don't want to throw avoidable roadblocks in your path, you need to deal with that. Little picture number three. Former basketball great Charles Barkley once said, "I am not a role model." As shocking as it may seem, Sir Charles is wrong on this one. Role model is not a voluntary position. We are all role models. Good role models or bad role models. Little picture number four. Compromise isn't a dirty word. It is, in fact, what enables free people to self-govern. You should have certain core principles, to be sure, but otherwise be prepared to dicker with the other person who just might be right. Little picture number five. Compromise usually involves going more than 51% of the way, especially in marriage, which is a great institution, by the way, should you choose to be institutionalized. There are very good legal, practical, and moral reasons why people who bring children into this world should be married. Little picture number six. Establish credit. I gather that's not too hard to do these days, what with stories of infants, dead people like my own mother, gone 14 years now, and even pets being issued credit cards. But if by some chance you have not borrowed, do so. The fact that you are sitting here in a college graduation tells me most of you have done so. Just to prove that you can, that's why. Just to prove that you can be depended on to pay it back, unless, of course, it's a student loan. Obviously, only kidding. But if you think this is a cash society, try renting a car or a hotel room without a credit card. Little picture number seven. Having established that credit, don't use it. unless you really have to. Consumer debt has become a back-breaking burden in this country. One of our biggest problems, next to the national debt, which is now over $61,000 per citizen, you really can wait to get that second jacuzzi. And if you can't keep up with the Joneses, too bad. Either lower your income, or lower your expectations, or raise your income. Little picture number 8, lowered expectations are the secret to happiness. Remember that. Little picture number 9, don't just avoid debt, actually save. Starting right now, discover the wonders of compound interest. If you save as little as $10 a week over 43 years at 8% interest, which some stocks can yield, $10 a week over 43 years will give you well over $1 million. Little picture number 10, just because something is new doesn't automatically make it better, and just because something is old doesn't automatically mean it should be replaced. Little picture number 11, don't limit yourself. You'll run into many people who will go out of their way to limit you, and when you limit yourself, you're stealing their job. In many cases, their happiness as well. And little picture number 12, you spent the first years of your life dependent. Your father even claimed you as one on his taxes. Depending on your age, you couldn't drive, drink, vote, work, join the military, sign legal contracts, or otherwise control your lives. Now, you can. You can do pretty much what you want. Travel the world to find yourself. Starve in a bad job while living in a lousy apartment just for the right career move. Because from this point on, you'll increasingly be unable or unwilling to do that. You'll assume obligations, families, mortgages, college payments for your kids. Try complaining about that someday to your parents. My point is that you are now more free right this moment than you ever will be. Use that freedom. Capitalize on it, enjoy it, and live an abundantly full life, one which can be fully taxed in order to support your parents in our retirement. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Bohannon, for your message. Much appreciated. Among our graduates tonight are students who have surpassed the academic standards as set forth by our faculty. And it's my pleasure to recognize those honor graduates for their commitment and dedication. The names of these students are listed in your program, and they will be recognized individually as they receive their diplomas. Will you please hold your applause until all groups stand? Will all associate degree students graduating with distinction please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average of 3.5 on a 4.0 scale. Please stay standing. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.5 and 3.69 on a 4.0 scale. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating magna cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.7 and 3.89 on a 4.0 scale. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating summa cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.9 and 4.0 on a 4.0 scale. Thank you. Please be seated. Members of our Corps of Cadets who ranked in the top 20% of more than 5,000 cadets on the National Order of Merit list will graduate as Distinguished Military Graduates, the highest honor an ROTC student can achieve. Will the Distinguished Military Graduate please stand and remain standing? Please congratulate this person. Thank you. The UNG Honors Program, repeat that, the UNG Honors Program cultivates a community of engaged scholars who have demonstrated excellence in academics, service, and leadership. Completion of the honors program includes involvement in activities outside the classroom and service to the institution and local community. Will all graduates who are members of the honors program please stand and remain standing? Academic honor societies recognize students who have excelled both academically and as leaders among their peers. Will all graduates who are members of university and departmental academic honor societies please stand? Will you please join me in recognizing all of these graduates for their accomplishments? We will now confer the degrees. Will all students for associate degrees please stand? Associate degrees, please stand. President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the associate degrees as listed in the printed program. Each of these candidates has successfully completed the requirements for the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the associate degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. At this time, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Thank you, and please be seated. Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the bachelor's degree. Each of these candidates has completed the requirements of the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. At this time, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Thank you, and please be seated. Will the candidates for all master's degrees please stand? Master's degrees, thank you. President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the master's degree. These candidates have successfully completed the requirements of the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. Congratulations.
Please be seated. We will now call forward the graduates to be recognized individually. I invite Dr. Brian Corrigan to take his place to announce the graduates. Mr. Kyle Wade of our Young Alumni Board will greet you as you leave the stage and welcome you as the new alumni of the University of North Georgia. Marshals, please lead the graduates forward.
We now present the Associate of Arts degree graduates from the University College. Elizabeth Ann Huey. Bailey Ann Meyer. Brenda Fabiola Ramirez. We now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the University College. Merle Hernandez. We now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the College of Science and Mathematics, Adriana Guzman. We now present the Associate of Arts degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters, Brianne Elise Bischoff, Martha L. Evans, Brittany Reyes with distinction, we now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters, Myra Garcia, Andrea Juarez, Ryan Randolph Kelly, Zina Ledford Mize, Carl Stokes, we now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the University College, Robert Mattox, Janine Michelle McCourt, Jordan Ellis Word, we now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Science and Mathematics, Audrey Elizabeth Barrett, Emily Kalk, Elizabeth M. Gilman, Heather Herliska, Victoria Noel McCauley, Arjun G. Powell, Abby Michelle Phillips, Deanna Fernanda Porras, Holly Kendra Sanyu, Lindsay Erin True, we now present the Bachelor of Arts degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters, Matthew G. Annis, Harrison Ellis Bays, Second Lieutenant William Alexander Bradley, Casey Laura Budrock, Scott Westbrook Chalfant, Jane Elizabeth Clifford cum laude, Mitchell Neil Ferris summa cum laude honors program, Kelly French, Caitlin Nicole Gant, Madison A. Giles, Second Lieutenant Joseph Cray Glowowski, Stephanie Hartness, Tessa Hollingsworth, Alexander Stephen Joplin. Second Lieutenant Nathaniel Kreider. Carly McCurry. Brianna Danielle Mink. Danielle Marie Muma. Caleb Andrew Norris. Corey Laurel Parson, magna cum laude. Jack Benjamin Pred. Anita Renfro. Sandra K. Reyes. Walter Michael Stanish III. Ashton Laurel Thompson. Yanette Velasquez. Fabian Waldegger, magna cum laude. Erica Lynn Walker. Richard W. Ward. Todd Davis Williams. Cody Tate Woods. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Gabriella Grace Abenati. Brandon J. Adams. Blake Anthony Albert. Jasmine Doria Bailey, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Becky. Madison Marie Bolden, magna cum laude. Stephanie Brown. Jesse Lanier Burns. Samuel Edward Burke. Tyler Charles Coleman. Caleb Dever. Kelly Lynn Dixon. Second Lieutenant Joshua Dyer, cum laude, distinguished military graduate. Shannon Taika Earls. Catherine Evans. Madalena Georgescu. Karen T. Green. Caleb Ezra Helton. Danica Hoopaw. Laura Carolyn Hyatt, summa cum laude. Katie Elizabeth Jones. Jeffrey Scott Knowles. Macy Light. Christy Marie Long. Jake McCroskey. Cody Allen McDonald, magna cum laude. Ryan Little Eagle Molina, magna cum laude. Christopher Natch. Miranda Dawn Newman, cum laude. Noah Osborne, magna cum laude. Tatiana Pangle. Otis Mark Pettit. Judy Lizzie Pinones. Lindsay Madison Puckett. C. Jared Putnam. James Waylon Reagan. Vikram Aditya Rajgiri. Kyle Wade Ramsey. Chase Winston Redner. Second Lieutenant Matthew Darren Reynolds. Myra Rivera. Sarah Margaret Hornbuckle Rolson. Caitlin Erin Ruddick. Matthew Edward Sossaman. Second Lieutenant Brad Robert Scoos. Peter S. Smith. Second Lieutenant Trevor Dirk Smits. Jessica Marie Stapler. Philip Evan Stout. James Walker. Sarah Elizabeth Whitey. J. Dalton Williford. Tiffany Renee Willingham. Courtney Wimpy. Chase Yarborough. Rachel York. Hannah Marie Young. We now present the Master of Public Administration degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Megan Rose Ridley. Jose Alfredo Torres. We now present the Master of Science degree graduate from the College of Arts and Letters, Sophie V. Rabu.
I commend the most recent graduates of the University of North Georgia. Your hard work and dedication have been rightfully rewarded. I offer my personal congratulations to you for earning the title of graduate from this fine institution and ask that everyone please join me in recognizing this graduating class. Thank you. Graduates, judging from the applause, it is clear that each of you should feel proud of your accomplishments. So at this time, I would like the graduates to join me in a standing round of applause to thank your families, friends, and others that have given you support in the pursuit of your degree. Thank you. One of the many things that makes the University of North Georgia such a special place is our designation as one of only 6 senior military colleges in the United States. I would now like to call forward Colonel Brent Cummings to conduct the commissioning ceremony for our military science graduates who are commissioning as second lieutenants. These graduates were individually recognized early in ceremonies with their family and friends. Colonel Cummings.
Thank you, Dr. Orman. Since 1873, this university has provided leadership for the United States Army, and I'm grateful to see that tradition continue today. With the commissionees, please stand and remove your caps and gowns at this time. While the commissionees are preparing themselves, I would like to personally thank the faculty of this university for providing an education to these future leaders of our Army. They will carry the lessons learned here in the hills of Dahlonega around the globe to protect and serve our nation and our soldiers. Commissionees, this oath I'm about to administer to you is unique and it is sacred. It is unique because, unlike other armies, to include our allies, this oath is not given to a man or a woman, some king or queen, any other type of sovereign. The oath is not given to an ideology or a doctrine. This oath that you will take is sworn to the United States Constitution, a document which provides each of us in this room with our freedoms. It is sacred because you will be called upon to defend it with your life if necessary. At this time, I'd like to ask all veterans or currently serving active duty military members, firefighters, and policemen to please stand and stand with me as I issue this oath of office to these commissionees.
Thank you, Colonel Cummings. Graduates, you are now lifetime members of the UNG community. We are confident that you will make your university proud wherever your journey may lead, and we look forward to you hearing of your achievements. I now call on Ms. Andrea Strickland of the UNG Alumni Board of Directors for her congratulatory remarks.
I hope everyone in the class of 2017 is just as excited as I was when I graduated in 1969. After all, you've studied hard, probably played hard, and now all that's left is the rest of your lives. What's so hard about that? Let me tell you about the hardest class I ever took, and it wasn't at North Georgia College. It was a stand-up comedy class. Now, before I pass on to you a few life lessons I learned in those 8 long weeks, I feel the need for the speaker's prayer. It goes like this: Lord, make my words sweet and tender, for tomorrow I may have to eat them. First lesson, some people are naturally funny, naturally talented. The rest of us have to work hard at it. I can't say I was the funniest person when I performed at my graduation exercise, a 5-minute comedy routine at the Punchline. But I was a lot funnier than some of those who announced on the first night. All of my friends tell me I'm really funny. Why? Because I took being funny seriously. I listened to the feedback, I worked hard, I practiced. So what if I got beat out by a 70-year-old guy telling old folks jokes? I felt good about my act, and best of all, people laughed. Lesson 2, learn to pause. In comedy, the pause is a critical skill. You never talk over the laughter. I wish I'd learned when I was your age the importance of the pause. Pause and appreciate my friends and family. Pause and evaluate my career paths. I had 3. Pause and savor the good times like today. Third lesson, develop a so what attitude. No matter how hard you may work on that joke, sometimes they just bomb. No matter how hard you may work on that project for management, sometimes they just turn it down. Do the professionals slink off the stage? No way. They put themselves out front and center because they just know that the next tweak or tweet will be their big break. 4, learn to use a microphone. Just as a comedian knows how to take a microphone off the stand, wish that I could, and on that stage, you need to learn how to make a presentation. In my 35 years in the communications business, I have worked with doctors, lawyers, politicians, scientists, executives here, abroad. You need to be able to stand and deliver. Lesson 5, most importantly, give it up for your colleagues. If your team is preparing for the big show, give them feedback. If they are on stage, give them your applause. If, as today, they are your classmates, stay in touch. Join the Alumni Association. Attend alumni events. I have been in charge of our class reunion every 5 years. And next up, our 50th reunion. Remember your school, a gift of $10 to $1 million. It all helps future students benefit from the same great experiences that you have had. So, a good life and a good laugh have much in common. Hard work beats talent if talented ones don't work. A pause is time well spent. Attitude is an observable skill. Communication matters. Stand up and stand out. Finally, as I learned in my comedy class, you are only as strong as the hairspray you use, the liquor you drink, and the friends you make. Congratulations, you are officially an alumni.
Thank you, Andrea. As we conclude today's ceremony, I want to especially thank all of the staff involved with the planning and execution of the ceremony and for making it such a special occasion. The UNG Men's Quartet will come forward to lead us in the University of North Georgia alma mater, which can be found near the back of your program. Following the alma mater, please remain in place for the recessional as the faculty and graduates exit the gymnasium. Thank you, and please stand.
From the Blue Ridge mountain foothills to the banks of Lake Lanier, memories of our alma mater we all cherish and revere. Seeking courage, truth, and wisdom, fires of loyalty abound. University of North Georgia, from diverse and solid ground. Standing tall, salute your history, to the blue and gold we rise. Look beyond the distant sunset, see the future in our eyes. To our school we bring you glory, may we always honor thee, keeping memories deep within us and our love